Wayne Knutson, and welcome to our farm. My wife and I started this farm in 1980. We moved out here and started farming, and in 1994 we started to build some turkey barns. And we've expanded from that point to where we are today, and it is my pleasure to show you around our facility and what we do here. This land that it sits on is a century farm. Sam will be the fourth generation of farmers on this, and it's passing it down, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. And this is a legacy, but if we take care of the birds will take care of Sam and the next generation. So we want to keep this going.
I normally get up at 6:30, try to be down here by 7:30, somewhere in there, depending on the day. I normally make sure I check the weather, if it's going to be hot out, what direction the wind is going to be out of that day. Now in the summer, if it's going to be 95 degrees out and it's going to be a southwest wind, when I walk through the birds, I'll change all the fans, push them so it's southwest on the south side, and to blow that fresh air so the birds have nice breeze all day and they're not hot. If the birds get hot, they kind of just want to sit, and then they're not eating and drinking, so we want to keep them healthy and active and moving around and alert. Once I walk through the barns, I make sure, the waters are drinking, that the feed lines are working, that they all have feed and water, that the litter's good. There might be days that we have to come in here and we'll till and stir up the litter so they get nice, dry, fresh shavings to walk on. Monitor how much water they drank the day before, how much feed they ate. Just try to have it optimum growing and living conditions for the bird.
To me, the most important thing to get the birds' poults started is, once we get them in here, is they have to find water. That's number one. And the water is very important. If they don't find it, that's why we walk around here 20 times a day, get them to move so they can find the water. They get their first drink, we want it cool water. After that, then they got to start finding the feed. And then we observe where they are. If they all want to congregate on one end or the sides, and it can be a combination of, maybe it's too bright, so we got to shut off a row of lights to get them to draw one way or another. Maybe turn the heat up, maybe turn the heat down.
This is our gain track. It controls everything in the barn. We have 8 sensors, like Dad said, and heaters. Right now, temp set point is 94 degrees. They are 1 day old. The set point is 94. By the time they get 35 days old, the temp set point will drop down to 75 degrees. Our lights, our fans, our ventilation is on here. When I was younger, I remember Dad would have, he had center posts throughout the barn. There would be a circle ring around all of them, and there'd be just a flame heater above them, and he would have to go out there and adjust the heat manually in the barn. Now we can do everything from here. So this is our alarm system. It monitors heat. If it gets too hot in here, it'll call. If it gets too cold, so if the heaters would quit working, it would call. If a window or something would break and it's snowing outside, it would get cold enough, it would call. Basically, it just helps us prevent any disaster from happening. All our feed is stored in bins, obviously. In each bin, we have equipped with weight sensors, which tie into the barn. So right now, there's 25,000 pounds of feed in here, and every day I write down every morning. So tomorrow there might be 24,700. So they ate 300, and every day we write that down. And just like the water, if all of a sudden they're eating 1,000, 1,100 pounds a day, and then one day they only eat 500, they must be sick. There's a reason they're not eating. So now we need to figure out why, what's going on. It just takes stress off us and makes it easier and more efficient.
We're now in the west side of the 400 foot of the 800 foot barn. You can see that it's 76 feet by 400 feet long. We got fans down the center in the summer when it's real hot. I also have a water line that sprinkles them if it gets 104. These birds were moved over here at 30, 35 days. You can look at the birds, you see the nice color to them. They're all alert and looking at us, which is a good sign of healthy. Right now I look around and you can see how alert they are. A while ago they were running down the side here. You can see them flopping down there. The overall flock health looks very good to me in here right now. Hopefully that continues, and if we give them good water, good feed, and keep biosecurity, and hopefully they do real well for us. Because that's our job, is to take care of them, and if we take care of them, they'll take care of us, and they'll take care of Sam and the next generations down. Roughly, the feed costs are probably 2/3 of my expense. The genetics, the feed, the nutritionists, they all work together to make this a better product for the consumer. And we're all working together in this. The medicator on the wall is to vaccinate, and the only reason we vaccinate is to keep the birds healthy. Good, healthy meat for the consumer. One of the things that we want to do is to keep the birds, rodents, from bringing disease into the barn. We try to keep under the grain bins nice and clean so birds don't come and eat any feed, and we don't want them to come onto the premise. The better job we can keep it clean, the better biosecurity we have in the long run. Years ago when I was growing up, there was a lot of ranged birds around my hometown, and they had all the wild animals, and you had the hawks, the owls, the rain, all the elements. Today we raise them inside a barn, and we got screens. We don't have, as I said, the biosecurity. We want good bird health.
This is one of our soybean fields. Along with turkeys, we also farm. We farm roughly a couple thousand acres. By gridding all of our farms and knowing what parts of the field need fertilizer, we can make our fertilizer go much farther. And this last year was corn. It got turkey manure, so the turkey manure was enough for a corn crop and enough for the bean crop, so we only have to fertilize once every 3 years. Feed is 2/3 of our inputs, so soybeans go back into our feed rations, which our birds will eat. Our birds produce manure, our manure goes back on our fields. Kind of a cycle.
If we do all that, we're doing our job of providing a good product for the consumer. And we're able to make a living too. I like being my own boss. I can work as late as I want, and it's been a good life for me, and I can't wait to see what Sam and Maddie will do with it.